Previously.
I forgot to review those twos.
The gray ones?
Yeah, where the f are they? Hey, what's good, guys? My name's Chris. Welcome back to the official WearTesters.com. I just f***ed it all up. Rewind. Hey, what's good, guys? My name's Chris. Welcome back to the official WearTesters.com YouTube channel. Today, we finally take a detailed look at a shoe that you guys probably forgot even released like I did, which I'm so mad at myself right now. You don't even know, but I do think that these are fantastic.
What are they?
Did I not introduce the shoe yet?
No, and I know what they are. Just to clarify, everybody, they're the women's Air Jordan 2 in UNC and some kind of gray. Wolf gray?
Cool gray.
Cool gray.
Yes, it's a little dark for cool gray, but it looks really cool. But anyways, I don't know when these released, but it was pretty recently, and I did grab a pair. I grabbed a pair for retail because nobody cares about Jordan 2s except for apparently me and Scholar over on Instagram, so go us. Anyways, I think that this is a fantastic release. It's such a nice quality version of the Air Jordan 2 that I'm just kind of surprised that this was not just a women's exclusive, but that it wasn't labeled as premium or anything, because it's very nicely done. I just think that these are really, really slick. The outsole is pretty standard. Obviously, it's just an Air Jordan 2 outsole. I do think that the addition of UNC blue or powder blue, it's actually called ice blue.
What?
I know. I'm gonna call it UNC though, just because that's what I think about when I see a color like that. But anyways, I just think that it's an interesting look to add that to the cool gray, because typically with Air Jordans that are in cool gray colorways, cool gray is like the only color there. It's like a simple, like either all gray shoe or they're gray and white. There might be a little bit of an accent, like maybe chrome or something like that. But yeah, normally not like an actual like color like this. And I think that it looks really good. All of this is rubber except for that white chunk is actually polyurethane. It's part of the midsole. It's just poking through and adds comfort on there. It was not on the previous retro releases from 2004-ish. I can't remember when they started really changing this back or reverting it back to OG tech specs, with the exception of the off-white pair. That was the first one where I noticed it was just like, hey, they've got the air sole unit only in the heel, not a full length unit like the retros. And then they also put the size stamp back on the bottom, the PU and all of that stuff poking through the rubber. So I believe it was the off-white lows that were the first ones that were the real switch up, new shape, all that stuff, or old shape, original shape, but back for the first time. The remastered, they tried to claim it was that, but that wasn't, not even close. Now the midsole is polyurethane, like I was saying earlier, and unlike the previous retros, this one has original tech specs only, so there's not a 3/4 or full length air unit in there. Instead, it's just an isolated heel unit. They're still really comfortable depending on the insole that's put in the shoes, which unfortunately for these guys is Dream Cell, so that kind of sucks, but it's better than Ortholite, so I'll give it that. I will say though that the OG Chicago colorway, the one with the black midsole that released sometime last year, I think it was, those ones are mad comfortable. I just absolutely love wearing those. Now the materials on this particular pair is really where this shoe shines. Like the entire upper is a really nice nubuck, but it's all like thick cuts of actual leather. Certain areas of the shoe have like a really cool texture to it too. It's unfortunate because like someone like me would get a little bit irritated with the brand being like, hey, what are you guys doing? Like, why don't we get this type of quality on every release? But then you get a release like this and nobody pays attention to it, so you can't really blame them at the same time. You have to like point the finger at yourself as the community, being like, well, if you're not messing with it, then they're not going to do it. Unfortunately, they do stuff like this on a model that people don't care about, but they're trying to make you care about it. So again, I kind of understand both sides. I understand it from a consumer standpoint. I understand it from a manufacturer or brand standpoint. I just wish we would all kind of like understand that sneakers are sneakers. It's kind of art, but it's also functional footwear and just like daily stuff. So something like this, if you're into it, I think that you're going to really like it. For me personally, I feel like I got a whole lot of bang for my buck with these guys. Like I just can't believe I forgot about them, but yeah, they're just a really well-made shoe. The mid panel right here, that's typically the faux snakeskin and stuff like that, has been removed and replaced with suede. The suede next to the nubuck. But yeah, I really like the way that it looks. It's got a nice little contrast to it despite it all being the same color, so I really dig that as well. Something that they changed though is the piping around it. So instead of it being just a flat piece of material with that like dotted look or the gradient or just a solid color or it not being there at all, they replaced it with piping. The only thing I don't like about that is just where it meets right down here with a toe rand. It kind of bumps the toe rand out just a little bit because it is like a fatter piece of material than usual. So it's not quite as clean looking from the top down view, but outside of that, I really do like the change. I think that it looks really pretty. It's elegant. This is a clean ass color. The heel counter looks awesome. I love that it's got the gray and the blue all in one. I also love the Nike branding right there. It's actually embroidered instead of stamped on there. So I dig that too. It kind of like plays really well with the piping that's on there. Just little add-ons that look awesome. Something that's really interesting about this release, not only is the tongue kind of like the rest of them, like the only one that came with like nice materials all the way throughout it is that Chicago pair. Just talking about the high tops, by the way, not any of the lows, but the Chicago one actually had the same leather on the tongue, like the top of it, and then it had vinyl tongue throughout. Whereas all the rest of the regular releases seem to feature like really nice materials around and then synthetic tongues from top to bottom. This is no different. It does look a lot better though. It doesn't look quite as vinyl-y because it's not. It's like synthetic nubuck, but either way it looks good. I love the Jordan logo as well. The Wings logo looks fantastic, but much like some of those older releases of the Air Jordan 2, they actually put back the tab in the back where it has the 23 patch, which has been missing from damn near all of them. So I thought that was really weird that they added that on there. I have no idea what it's for outside of like, maybe it's just like an accident. I don't know.
It's there to rub your leg hair off.
It does. I used to put tape behind them because it would just chafe the out of my shins. But yeah, if I go back here real quick. But just like this pair from the Countdown Pack 2008-ish, you got the tongue tag, 23 tab right back there. So again, I don't know why this release has them and none of the other ones do, but just let me know. Now, as far as sizing is concerned, go true to size. Obviously, this colorway is a women's release, so what you'll have to do is convert your men's sizing. Obviously, they are still basing it off of the men's stuff. They're just calling it women's because, you know, they have to. They don't really have to. Don't you agree? Like the shoes that you're wearing, those Birkenstocks, they're unisex.
I know, I love it. I just have to look for a size 36.
But you know what I mean? It's just like, come on, you guys. Converse does it. Like, it's just like, you do it with select shoes. Why don't you just do it? We all got feet, right? The size should be what the size is. It's one of the dumbest things in footwear. But like I was saying, if you're going to go after a pair, just make sure that you convert your size. So your men's size compared to your women's is going to be 1.5 times bigger. And wrong. It is.
No, it's not 1.5 times.
Oh, well.
I'm just letting you know.
Okay, you don't multiply, but you just add 1.5 sizes.
It's a big difference.
That's what I meant, okay? You know what I meant. So if you're a size 9, go with the size 10.5 women's. That is a regular size 9, and you should be good. I think that this is a super underrated release. It's so underrated that I put them in the studio here and I totally forgot about them. So I really apologize about that. But the good news is that by the time that you see this, or by the time that this is available, talking about our video, these will be on sale in no time. So be patient, you know, pay attention to the outlets or to your local retailers when you can start getting discounts marked down, and then you get these for under retail in no time. And when you do, come back here, let me know how nice they actually are, because these are just, they're so buttery, man. The materials on these alone are worth at least a look. With all that being said, thank you guys so much for watching. Thanks so much for being here. We greatly appreciate it. Everybody that supports every video, you guys are awesome. I can't even tell you enough. You guys really make our day. You make what we do possible. So again, thank you so much for everything. We greatly appreciate it. We will catch you guys on the next one. So until then, have a good one.